All right, it's been a while since we uploaded a map mail video, so we're probably gonna just dive straight into this. I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions about, well, let me rephrase that in case I don't get any questions and I look pathetic. But I know I'm gonna get at least one question like, yo, what's up with the map channel? Are Flaw and All reviews done? I actually got that one the other day. No, not at all. That's like the main series on the channel. We're coming back. We had a handful of setbacks. We actually upgraded some things on the technical side. Long story short, if you want to stay up to date, we have a Discord now, which is awesome. I'll put the link down below. Open Discord where you could talk about, there's a gaming room, there's a room for the Flaw and Aws specifically, there's a room just the public square to chit chat about everything. Stay up to date. I'm going to put the links, actually all links will be below, and we've been uploading gaming streams on my personal channel, so again, links are in the video description. Now let's jump to this ridiculous pile that consists of stuff for selling independent comic books, and then DIY projects, and then subscriber stuff, as well as a couple things I bought myself. Let's jump to the top, which is something I actually picked up myself. Everyone was going nuts for this Spawn figure. And if you try to look it up, what happened is, I guess they only made a few of them. It's Spawn from the Mortal Kombat game. They only made a few of them with the sword, which was crazy because they sold out everywhere. Which, again, that's insane because fans have been asking for an articulated Spawn for years now. And the Spawn fan base is crazy, so it blows my mind. They only made a little run and sold out so bad that the secondary market marked this up 3 times the price. Anyhow, just coincidentally, I checked Walmart.com, and a company was selling this guy for 20 bucks shipped. I think it was called Calendars, the company. So I ordered it, and sure enough, it was legit. He showed up. It's not a knockoff. It's not, it was a real price, you know, a legit $20 price tag. And the thing is, you can get him on pre-order now, but he won't come with the sword. He'll come with a mace. And I was excited for that one. I do have that one on pre-order. And I'm actually buying one for my brother as a birthday gift for later this year. But the mace actually doesn't look cool at all. But this guy's incredible. The sculpt, the detail, the paint, the articulation, oh my God, this is how you do it. If McFarlane Toys did this way back when fans were asking them to do this with the Walking Dead figures, those would still be in production today. You can argue that based on popularity of the show, but I think they would still be in production. Anyway, working our way down, we have a dog alien. I think this is from Alien 3. I'm not real big on Alien after part 2. I love Alien and Aliens, but I still adore the design of the alien. I want as many as I can get. My idea is when we finally move, I'm not sure yet what state I want to settle down in, but when I finally move, I do want all these NECA movie-related figures to be around my Blu-ray shelf. And I know I always get that question, why do you still buy physical media? And you know what? Recently, they just censored Back to the Future. Well, you can't censor my physical discs. Just saying. Just putting that out there. Anyhow, next up we have Big Chap. Now, this is from the first movie, if I have that right. And what's really neat is he does look really similar to the other aliens that I have, but his mouth is so nostalgic because just that teeth design, it's the same as how I remember it. So it's just super cool. And again, it's a small different detail. His dome is different as well. I think I have the prototype. I think this guy is the prototype. You can see the skull in the dome. You can't see it the same, so the dome is different, but the bodies are identical. And then this is different. That's an alien's figure. And then we have the dog alien, the grid alien. This guy's amazing. He's from AVP. And then back there is the arcade alien. He looks nuts, though. Anyway, and I got another subscriber sent me a picture, which is friggin' awesome, that artwork. And then we have some little stuff that came with the aliens. But speaking of little stuff, this Big Chap came with a really cool base for the egg. Could have used a little bit of shading, I guess, on that egg. And a different face hugger. The funny thing about aliens, this guy, I always thought he was so cool when I was a kid. And this is a nostalgic franchise because when I slept over my grandmother's house when I was real little, it was real boring because she wanted to go to bed mad early. And me and my brother snuck downstairs and the only movie she had was Alien because it came with her Betamax or whatever it was for free. And we stayed up and watched it. My brother fell asleep, but ever since that day, I was hooked. Anyhow, this is a different face hugger than the others. I believe these are all the same design that NECA did with the other releases. Even the egg is different, and it comes with a really cool base that looks like the movie. That I'm a big thing for details that are from the movie and stuff. I love it. So the face hugger is different. Some nice gore detail. Let me see. But the funny story is, even though the alien was cool when I was little, Alien didn't scare me. These guys, where is it at? These guys, they creeped me out, man. And I hate spiders, so maybe that's why. But they got little knuckle fingers. Oh, God. Oh, it's so disgusting. And they face fuck you. I mean, come on, man. Like, nightmare fuel. Anyhow, I got a few others. I mean, this came with one of them. This is a queen chest burster. And then we have a regular chest burster there. And then we have another one this is the one that came with the big chap. But see how they're just a little bit different? That guy even has like silver teeth. What's going on with my focus? And then it's a little bit different, but I did make a little, yeah, we have some more face huggers, but I did make a little thing for the Hanging Man. It's terrible, but if you cover it up, it looks nice. Anyhow, moving on. I'm getting into some DIY projects, but let me move some of these other NECA figures out and we can get to some more stuff. Here is Lasershot. This guy is insane. I think it is a Kenner, an old Kenner homage figure, but he looks incredible. This was a cool package, surprise package to receive. And his arm is articulated. He's got a cool little Terminator faceplate in his armor. Just a really cool looking Predator. I think I'm running out of room for the Predators. I'm going to have to do something. Now, we're going to talk about this in a second because that has to do with some of my projects coming up. We already talked about Big Chap. We already talked about... no, we did not talk about Freddy. Now, a big thank you for the Freddy Krueger. I think this is from the first movie. I constantly passed on him in the store because I have a Freddy. Now, I changed this face. This face came with the Freddy I just showed you. And these are the two heads that came with this body. And this body has a change out faceplate to the body where you can do like a chest on him from the movie. So his shoulders look really weird when he's standing like this. So for a few years, I had just this Freddy, and I thought it was fine with these two heads. Now, those heads look cool, but when someone sent me this Freddy, I was so excited because, again, it's a Freddy I always passed by at the store. But this face in hand looks so freaking cool. And even better yet, this face right here looks awesome. And then we have the glove and the look of his body. I don't know, just super cool, man. And his hat. So this, surprisingly, I thought this Freddy with these two heads and this body was the only Freddy I needed. But now this one's actually my favorite, you know, with the heads, how they look. I would like to probably grab another one so I can just have both of the heads because they did a really good job with those two. I have so many Freddys. I have so many Jasons, so I think I could get a couple more Freddys and it wouldn't hurt, at least for the alternate heads. Now, here's something that I picked up. This came in the mail. This is a repainted, I primed it. It's going to be, I took all the paint off it. I took his hair apart. It comes in two pieces. This is going to be a Nathan Drake that I am going to paint myself. I his head was terrible when it came out of the box. Now, this is something, like I said, this is something that I purchased for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to see what a Last of Us style figure would look like in NECA form, and I wanted to practice repainting the heads. I already knew the paint jobs on these are legendarily bad. And the third reason is I wanted to experiment to see what maybe, or to see if NECA should be the company we go with to make our Doomsday Kingdom figures. And if you're thinking right away, man, Ronnie, Doomsday Kingdom it's so independent, you're crazy. Believe it or not, if we get enough sales, enough pre-orders, now obviously I'm going to work a deal out with them, and this is after COVID and all that. I'm not even going to bother before that. But after things settle down, if we go with them, I'm going to reach out and get an estimate and see, well, you know, what is all, just touch base, because they deal with music artists and stuff like that. I just want to touch base and see if that's even a thing. And that's why I got Nathan Drake, because there's a clown character I want to make. There's the Rider, which is going to be the first character we make if we go with NECA. But having him in hand with a better paint job, the sculpt is incredible. With a better paint job, this face isn't too bad, but you can see how it is a bit soft. His eyes need a touch up. The sculpt, design, and the factory they use, they could possibly do really amazing Doomsday Kingdom figures. Anyhow, here's that sculpt work just to show you. It is incredible. The paint job on this was embarrassing, though. It was terrible. But you never know. I could reach out to them and they can say, we want nothing to do with you. We don't care how much, you know, we're going to make off it. We don't give a damn. And again, it wouldn't even be for making profit for us. It would just be, can we get our figures out there in 2021? Who knows? Anyway, this is also something that I picked up myself, and this was to show off during the coming Day of the Dead Flaw and Awe. It was, I'm not big into pins, but when I saw this advertised online, I was so excited. This is one of my most nostalgic, memorable, and favorite, you know, human kills in a zombie movie when I was a kid. Having it in pin form, he actually opens up and separates. That was freaking incredible. That little pin is neat. Anyhow, I got this. Where are you going? You're running away? I got this. It is an artist's organizer. I picked this up and ordered it off Amazon. And it's, I hope I like it, but it seems like a pain in the ass right now. Because when you get your brushes and you stick them in, they're kind of like all over the place. It's a good idea, but I don't know about it. I think I got to use it a little bit. I'm using it for drying brushes. I got these new brushes in, and they're actually right here. Here's something else that came in the mail. Here's Deco, I don't know, fine detail art brushes, and they are hella fine detail. Look at that. I cannot wait. I already started using one of the brushes on this Spawn. What I did is I took the head off of this Spawn, and I actually put it on this Spawn, because my favorite is the classic Spawn. Speaking of which, I did back the McFarlane Toys Kickstarter, and I'm really excited for that to come, and we will review that when it comes. Now, this head, I hate showing stuff off that's not finished. I still have to do a lot more with this head. I got to touch up the teeth. The teeth are tricky because the sculpting failed here. At least on my figure, the teeth are barely there, so it's rough. It's hard. I don't know if I can zoom in there. If you think you see teeth, it's because I tried my absolute damnedest to create teeth there. It's just bad. Anyway, on the box, they show one that actually has, look at that. And then on the box, now keep in mind, you can look at my review. This figure was fine, but it looked nothing like the box. I mean, nothing. And look, he has actual teeth. Now, if you don't know, they sculpt this in a bigger size, and then they shrink it down, and they do the size for on the market. NECA does the same thing. They'll sculpt a large version like this, and then they'll shrink it down to something like this. Speaking of which, I probably should show off the Splinter, that was a pre-order that came a while ago. I don't think I reviewed it or nothing. Everyone reviewed Splinter. But I needed Splinter for the Turtles, and he also came with, or at least I pre-ordered, Shredder and 2-Foot Soldiers at the same time. I wanted the complete set. I wasn't too excited. I thought these looked cool, but once they got here in hand, that's when I was like, yo, they are awesome. So yeah, and Shredder is a freaking monster. I got the big one here. He's incredible. The detail and everything is incredible. Anyway, I was talking about Spawn, but yeah, he's in the works. Now, part of what I'm happy with and going for, his head is, you can barely see it. I'm trying to go with this, wow, it's glossy. I'm trying to go with a real bloody look instead of the brown. I do have some brown in his face. Again, he needs a lot more work though, so please hold off. You can trash talk me when it's done. Now, I think I may have done a little too much blood. I wanted it to look just horrific, kind of like a Spawn Freddy Krueger, but even worse, you know what I mean? Because even Freddy Krueger, the figure doesn't have that much red showing through. But I will darken it up. Keep in mind, it needs a coat of a wash on it. And when you do a black wash, it'll darken the whole frickin' thing. Unless I only do a wash in certain areas. Now, yeah, so one of the items was a fine detail brushes. I'm excited to learn more and get better at artwork. Speaking of artwork, and then we got a couple comics and movies, steel books that are exciting. I got this Predator bust. Now, I already reviewed it on my personal channel and repainted it. Here's the repaint here. Now, I got to put them back on the base, but here's the repaint. Now, I think the armor actually looks close to it. Might have even been a little better. People don't like the green, and I understand that fully, but I have so many regular brown Predators. I mean, look at them all. Look at them all. You know, I have this neon one, so I did kind of lie. That's like a yellow, but I don't have any. Look at them all. I don't have any green Predators. There's tan. So I wanted a green Predator. So here's a green one, and I freaking love it. Now, I wish I did stuff differently with this. However, I still stick with Diamond Select made a really bad paint job on this. This one is actually a lot better than my first Diamond Select. It still has, I don't know, paint that missed the mark, let's say. This gap is still there. I don't know how I was able to correct the gap by heating it up and then reattaching it, but they have this insane gap. Now, even the base is something I stand by. You could talk shit all you want on the Predator, but I am in love with this base. I messed up on the dark wash. I went too dark, and I accidentally used the gloss finish. It was supposed to be matte on it all except for the mud. The mud was supposed to be glossy, and the mud was supposed to be dirty, and I accidentally did a wash over it all and a gloss over it all. So if you can see how it showed up, this is supposed to be gray rock, and that's how it looks in the example photos. And then the vines. Now mine, the green on the vines were all over the rocks and not on the vines. And the back was even worse. There was, you know, green all over the place. So you can see how they did it. And I'll show you a little bit of how I did it. See, I wanted it to come to life a little, and maybe I made mine a little too bright. But there's a difference. I put a little blue in some of the rocks and a little more gray and dirt on some of the others. And these are a little more gray with a tint of blue. Anyway, so again, maybe you like that better. I don't know. I prefer if the color was a little more, if it popped out a little more like that compared to the back of how they have it. It's so muted. I'm like, no. See, a muted tree, and then you have this. Now, obviously, this is one of the first, you know, things I painted. This is when I was practicing. I'm still, in my opinion, practicing because it's only something I got into recently, but that gloss really didn't do it any favors. It really should have been a matte. And then you have the Predator himself. See, he comes with his trophies on one side, which is never how the Predator wears them. It's crisscrossed, and the rope has a glue on it, so the rope is stiff. So that's something that I like to correct. The knives are these blackened, terrible looking knives. Now, I did a bad blood job on mine, but I did make my knives silver. And I cleaned these up so they actually look like trophies that got cleaned up. And I tried to fix some of the stiffness of the rope. I colored certain things. See, even the gloves, when I still look back at it, there's a lot I could have done better. But even the leather in the gloves, I love. And I'll do the same. I'm going to repaint this one. And I'm going to repaint it in the original colors. So everyone stops yelling at me. But see the gloves, how boring they are, boring and brown? I wanted to give it that. You ever see the leather that has like that yellow sheen to it? That's what I was going for here. I think I hit the mark. And then obviously I'm still happy with his metal. It's just doing the body by hand. I know a lot of people say get an airbrush. That is coming. It's not literally coming, but I will be doing or learning how to airbrush. But I want to learn by hand also and first. So we have something here. Let's get to this package from everyone so far was anonymous, but this is Dave 504. Enjoy, bro. Thanks for the content and live streams. Anonymous except for the ones that I bought. You know what I mean? All right. We have a mason jar, which is freaking cool. And I was like, why the hell did he send me a mason jar? And then I looked closer. It has Doomsday Kingdom on one side, which is freaking cool. It's like etched in there. I thought it was a sticker, but it's like that etching, that laser etching or whatever. And then it has my logo on the other side. Make a Path Presents. As a matter of fact, there I'll use my brains a little bit, and I'll give you guys a better idea of what it looks like. So that's really cool. I have a mason jar that I use in my office to hold stuff. And it's this exact size with a lid and all. I'm actually going to be taking that mason jar and changing it out for this one. So David 504, thank you very much, man. That is friggin' awesome. Let me move over my stuff. We have a comic book here from graphic novel from Vinny Tartamella. Did I say that right? Gorgeous look to it. Through the Woods, it's called. Maybe I will review it on my personal channel, Ronny Hayes. Through the Woods, awesome artwork. Comes with a free bookmark. I'll leave a link below, too, for this if you're interested. But I love his friggin' artwork here. He did a Tomb Raider poster. I think I'm going to pick up his art book just for the Tomb Raider poster. But, yeah, here's the little bookmark. And it comes signed as well. And I dig his art. He has some really nice art. I don't want to show it off too much, but you can look it up. It's like a ghost story. You have some cool shit going on, though. Look at that. Here's one that he showed off. So I don't feel bad about showing that off, but check that out. But I was interested in that. And it was fast shipping. Again, this is in demand on Indiegogo. So support your comic creators, your indie comic creators. And it came packaged, you know, with protective padding. So that's what's up. Next up in this Gemini mailer, we have Cyberfrog. Now this is the team variant. And this is on eBay if you're interested. And the artwork in this is, oh my God. Now they have, or Ethan Van Sciver, he's the creator of Cyberfrog. He has a comic out on Indiegogo, and it's called Cyberfrog. This is part one is Blood Honey, and the second one is Wrecked Planet. I even showed off this artwork online. This page had me thinking, shit, man, that is incredible. I mean, all the pages, if you skim through it, I think he showed off most of this comic, so it's not like a surprise. This one in particular, he showed off most of this. But the artwork is incredible. I mean, this guy can draw, man. He's got some talent when it comes to drawing. Look at that. Jesus. I think it's Kyle Ritter does the coloring, and he also does an amazing job. The combination between Ethan Van Sciver doing the artwork and then Kyle doing the coloring is absolutely incredible. It looks amazing. The only downside I will say is, and I think this is a fair warning, I love that spread here, look at that. The detail in this artwork is freaking incredible. Fair warning for Cyberfrog. Part 1, Blood Honey, the biggest concern is it feels rushed. It's not a true story per se. It's a summary. It's to catch you up with, I'm assuming, what Cyberfrog's story was in the 90s when he was in comic shops. It kind of did a summary of his story in a couple parts, I think 2 or 3 parts. And then it ended it on to be continued, obviously, for part 2. Now, obviously, I expect this to continue on and on and on because this is his main franchise. But the story did surprise me a bit. I really felt like he should have fleshed it out a little more and it would have really hit. Right now, it reads like a quick summary. This happened, then this, and this, and this is where we are. And now get ready for Wrecked Planet. I think that's the only criticism I can lay on it because visually it is beautiful. Now there is a little touch of criticism with this if I can go back just because I want to be fair with positives and negatives. Artwork in this is fantastic as well. The story needed another like 10 to 20 pages though, and that was to actually flesh it out and let those emotional notes hit. But if you are into ghost stories and it's kind of like just one of those neat puzzling stories, also the narrative here, it was all over the place as far as voiceover, someone telling the story, and you understand it by the end, but it still needed a little bit more of a tighter control on that narrative getting us here. Anyway, I do recommend both though, so definitely check out Through the Woods or Cyberfrog. Man, this is crazy long. Anyway, I picked these up. I don't know why they're here. I found these at Aldi's for like $1. The Waking. I don't know. I'll check it out. But we have Day of the Dead. That came in. This is for a Flaw and Awe review. It's coming soon. We did a watch party on my personal channel with, oh, look at that. I forgot to show off. This Freddy came with a little phone with a tongue. Like how Nancy answered the phone. Oh my God, I love the little details. We have Child's Play. This came in the mail because, yes, I am planning on doing a Child's Play Flaw and Awe. Also in the works is the original Child's Play Flaw and Awe review, as well as Land of the Dead. We'll have a watch party coming up really soon. If you're interested, sign up for the Discord or just subscribe to my Ronny Hayes channel. Next, we have the Terrifier Steelbook, and I do want to do a Flaw and Awe review closer to Halloween, but this Steelbook is freaking awesome. Look at that. You know that scene. The acting is a bit rough. The story is almost non-existent. It's pretty much a rip 'em up, but they have a really cool looking villain clown, which is awesome. So check it out. But this, a fan sent me from Finland. Now here's the funny thing. I have, and I showed off my Steelbook for Joker, and I love that Steelbook. But when I got this in the mail, honestly, after having it for a while, I gotta say, holy shit, this is my favorite. I love this Steelbook. The back is the same, the inside is the same, but this cover with the burning car, I love this. So again, anonymous gifter, you know who you are, from Finland, all the way from Finland. Huge thank you, because this is my favorite friggin' Joker Steelbook. And last is kind of a little bit of a boring stuff, but I want to give you an update, so to speak, on Doomsday Kingdom posters. We're back in business, baby, when it comes to these at least. I went ahead and ordered a stack of this cardboard. Before I was cutting my own, and I had a different system. I forget what I was using, but this is to keep them safe. When you order a poster, obviously you don't want it banged up, and these are high quality, so you don't want to roll them up, because they'll just kind of fold and crunch on you, because they're thick, high quality posters. Now this is a sample poster. See how it's all messed with signed. It doesn't matter. So you don't think I'm messing around with someone else's poster. So you put them in the cardboard, you put it in an envelope, and we ship it out to you. So I got a stack of cardboard, and then underneath that, I should say, we have two types of posters, the Memories one and then the issue 1 cover on the website right now. And yes, it seems like because COVID is, I don't know, because people are getting back to work, we will be looking into doing restocks, and we're doing volume 1. So I know, be patient still with me, but you know we mean business, because we just got a stock an order for 150 Gemini mailers. We have another box on its way. These are so we can put the comics right in the mailers. We can weigh it and have it shipped, and hopefully save some of you. If you're in the US, I don't know about international, but some of you in the US will be able to save you on shipping. I'm hoping some of you, we can cut the shipping in half. That means as long as you order just a couple issues that we can fit in here, we'll be able to slap a postage on there and ship it straight out, just like this, bag and board and protected. So this is for Doomsday Kingdom. And I think the last thing to show off is this Foamular. This is a lie. I didn't get this in the mail. I don't even know why it's being shown off. I think it's because I just had it next to the cardboard. But this is actually for a project, 2 projects. One is a Doomsday Kingdom related prototype. The next one is actually for helping me practice with some dioramas. I want to design something that's going to go with Joel and Ellie, and it's going to be post-apocalyptic. Now, this is maybe possibly what I'm going to use for the starter thing I'm thinking, or I'm going to use the Foamular. Now, part of the idea is on one of my newest streams, I showed how I want to create a wall look, and it's going to be post-apocalyptic, obviously with vines and all that, and it's going to go with the Joel and Ellie. Ellie I'm going to be reviewing soon. She's on her way from China. That one we're going to do during a Last of Us special leading up to the release of part 2. That's on my personal channel, but I think we're still going to be streaming The Last of Us on this channel like I promised. I was going to move it to my personal one, but I think there's still, the majority of people on this channel that is okay with streaming that. I know we voted, and most people wanted, the gaming just off the site, and, when it wasn't zombie / post-apocalyptic related. So I think The Last of Us will be the last gaming stream we do on Make a Path Presents. After that, it'll all be on the Ronny Hayes channel as far as the gaming streams. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be for future projects, and I think if I find a way to stream it while I'm doing projects, we're going to be, or at least people are asking for a lot more frequent streams on my personal channel. So anytime I'm